Good morning and welcome to Not the Farm. I am in Rhinebeck, New York for the premier fiber arts show pretty much in the country. If you talk to any knitter, spinner, probably a lot of crocheters, and you say Rhinebeck, they will start drooling. This is an amazing fiber show. If you remember this spring, I went to the Central New York Fiber Festival. That is a drop in the bucket compared to the New York Sheep and Wool Festival here in Rhinebeck, New York. You can see the line is already lined up all the way out here. There's another line behind me at that big red barn. And the show doesn't even open for another half hour. But that's okay, that's why we're here. And actually, I'm very excited. I left at a stupid hour in the morning. I was out of the driveway by 6. And it paid off because in an hour, all these fields are going to be filled with cars. This is the first time in many, many years that I'm parked right near the entrance, so I'm very excited. So we're gonna go stand in the cold for about half an hour, and then I'll take you inside and show you the show. Thank you very much. Hello, sweetie. I love your dreadlocks. Yes, I do. Making you upset. You're very handsome. Look at your sweet face. All right, so I've done one half of the fair and took all my stuff back to the car because it was getting heavy. I don't usually buy a lot of stuff right from the jump. I like to see everything and then go back to places, invariably forgetting half the places I wanted to go back to. But since I've got such a good parking spot, I'm kind of taking it in shifts. So now we're going to do the upper part of the fair and see how much I can spend up there. That credit card is getting really hot. I took about a half-hour butt break and got a snack, changed my shoes because this isn't my first rodeo, and I know that changing your shoes midday makes the afternoon go a lot better. Usually it's about 1 o'clock right now, and a lot of times when I'm here with my friends, we're bailing at this point. And we'll go and sightsee. We tend to like to go to the Roosevelt National Park or the Vanderbilt Estate. They're just up the road from here. And we'll stop somewhere for lunch. But it's just me this year. And so I don't have to go that way. I go the opposite way to get back to the house. So I figure I'll stay a little bit longer. I've pretty much hit all of my boxes for the day. I got a rug to go in front of my fireplace because apparently the hearth isn't in code, but my chimney guy said, if you put a wool rug down in front of this, it'll be fine. I'm like, all right, I'm going to a fiber festival, I'll get a wool rug. So I got a wool rug. And I got my fiber, and I got my beads, and I got some yarn. So anything left is just kind of gravy. So I'm gonna poke around a little bit more. There's one building with all the food that I haven't checked out. Maybe the lunch crowds will have thinned out enough that I can get some actual food. And we'll see what other goodies I can find.
Hey, where are you guys?
Floor loom for $100. $100 on a floor loom. Get 50. 50.
Yeah, I love your shawl. All right, that's me done. I got nothing left. And I'm sure my credit card company would appreciate me not dinging them every 5 minutes. I got a pretty good haul. I'll show it to you when I get back to the car. I always love seeing all of the patterns that everybody's wearing. And that's the wonderful thing about Rhinebeck, is that it's one of the few shows I go to where people can actually wear their knitwear and be relatively comfortable, although it is in the mid to upper 60s right now, so a lot of people were shedding layers. The pattern of the year seemed to be these quilt block sweaters I was seeing in a wide array of different color combinations, so it was very cool. It's also very validating coming to an event like this, wearing your own knitwear, because everybody's complimenting each other on their work. I got more compliments on my shawl, and I got real good explaining the process to people, but it felt very good to get that little bit of validation. All right, I've got too much stuff to do it in one shot, so let me show you what I got. This is the yarn I got. So these are all from a company called Into the World. These two I'm very fortunate to get because I have 3 more skeins of this at home, and I need 1 more to make a sweater pattern that I just found. And then these, I just really like the colors. These are from a company called Pendragon Yarn. This is just a superwash merino wool. And I love the different colors. So I've got kind of a teal and a blue and a red and a brown. I really like those. These two are from a company called 100 Ravens. We found their yarns for the first time a couple of years ago, and I just really love them. Fortunately or unfortunately, a lot of other people have found them as well, and their booth was incredibly busy. And then this was a colorway designed especially for this festival. It's called Stained Glass by CC's Wool. So I got one each of these in the sock yarn that are superwash and nylon, one each for Nikki and Deb, and then I got 4 of them for me in this worsted weight, because I think that would make an amazing sweater as well. Even if I have to supplement it with a black to get enough length, I really love this colorway. All right, this is all the fiber I got for spinning. So I got these 2 packs of roving in a teal and a red, and this one, I don't know how well you can see it, has sari silk in it, so it has some wonderful color variation in it. And this one is just has some sparkle in it called Angelina. Again, it's hard to see with the bag on, but so that's going to be fun to spin. These 3 are from a new company to me. I'm not sure. I've never spun theirs before, but this is a yak, silk, and wool combination, and this one is a merino and bamboo. I love the feel of merino and bamboo, but it can be a real pain in the butt to spin because it doesn't separate very well. These 3 are from another new company to me from upstate Michigan. They're from the Western Upper Peninsula. So I was really happy to be able to buy from them, since that's where we went camping sometimes when I was a kid. And then this massive selection, again, is from Into the World, which is one of my favorite yarn and fiber companies. They are located not far from here in the town of Phoenicia, New York, and I just love their colorways and their fibers. These 2 I'm especially excited about because they are just random collections of odds and ends from their various colorways. And so I'll just spin those randomly and ply it together and get a really interesting and absolutely unique yarn out of that. So that I'm very excited about. And then this is all the miscellaneous other stuff that I got. So this is a rug that I needed to get for in front of the fireplace. The other thing that my chimney guy had told me was wrong with my fireplace was that the hearth was not big enough. But he said that's an easy fix, just get a wool rug, because wool is not burnable. So that would take care of that issue. So this is an all wool rug. So that's going to go in front of the fireplace, which the cats should love. I got all these different kinds of beads. No project in mind for them. I just want to have them in case I decide I want to throw beads on anything. I needed more split stitch markers, so I got a package of those. This business has really nice tools, very cheap, so I was happy to get those there. And they also have these try-on cords. This is a hollow tube, and it's really great. You just stick one end onto your needle if you want to try a piece on, or I was using them making wrist warmers to hold the thumb stitches while I finished the wrist warmer. So you put the end of the tube, you can kind of maybe see it there. You put the end of that on your needle, slide your stitches off onto the tubing, and take it off the needle, and then you can finish your knitting or try it on. And then when you're ready to work with them again, you just stick that back onto your needle, slide the stitches back onto your needle, and get back to work. So I use these on those wrist warmers, like I said, and I just love it. So I'm sure I'm going to find lots of use for these. And I especially like this because it has these locks for the end. So if you are trying a piece on, you can put those on the ends, and then you don't have to worry about your stitches falling off the tubing. I didn't find much of an issue with that just because this is rubber, so the stitches didn't move a whole lot, but those will be really nice to have. And again, that was fairly cheap because it includes the cord stops, so I was happy to have that. I needed cleaner for my knitwear and anything else that I want to wash gently, so I got a bottle that's unscented, and then this lacy scent is just a really wonderful bergamot-y kind of scent, and bergamot is my favorite scent, so I was really happy to find that. I needed another needle case. I love this company. It's called Crittenden Works, and I have all of my needle cases. I've got a case for my crochet hooks, and this is for my fixed circulars. I don't have a lot of them, but I don't have a place to store them, so I got that to put those in. And then this is just kind of a mini case, and I really like this because I can keep my notions in the bag, but then slip my needles into the fabric up here, like my tapestry needles and stuff for weaving in ends and things like that. So I'm really glad to have that. These are boot insoles made out of alpaca. So my muck boots don't have any insole in them, so putting these in there will be really nice in the winter to give me a softer padding, one, and also to keep my feet warmer in those boots. And then the last thing I'm really excited about is this yarn counter by the same company that made my electric wheel. And this is really nice because you just feed your yarn through here over the top of the wheel, and as you pull it through, it measures your yarn for you, so you don't have to measure it manually. And this is really great, especially as a spinner, to be able to figure out, okay, how much yarn did I just make, so I can figure out what kind of projects I can make with that. And last but not least, I got these two beautiful shawl pins. I had one silver one, and I don't know where it went. It's got to be in the house somewhere, but I've got to find it. But these will give me some nice variety for wearing with different shawls as I make more of them. This one especially went so beautifully with the shawl that I was wearing today. I was just really happy to have that. So it's a big collection, but it's all stuff that I'm going to find very useful. Especially now that I'm getting more into spinning, or back into my spinning, it'll be nice to have some variety. All the fiber I have right now is white, which is kind of boring, except for that silk that I got this spring, but I'm really struggling with that. So having something that's a little easier to spin will encourage me to do the stuff that's harder too. And then I have lots of opportunities to make all kinds of different projects over the winter, especially since we're coming into the season where I'm not going to have as much to do outside. I'll spend a lot of time indoors, and it'll be nice to have projects. So the one thing, well, there's two things I couldn't get. I couldn't find a wide variety of stitch markers. I really like beaded stitch markers, and nobody had those. The only real stitch markers I found, aside from the cheap ones, were laser engraved ones, which were very cute, but they aren't my jam. So I think I'm going to stop at Michael's and get some supplies to make my own. And the other thing I couldn't get at was any food. The lines at all of the food stalls, even from 11 o'clock on, were ages long, and I just didn't want to stand in line that long just for food when I could be looking at other things. So I'm going to head home, but I'm going to look for some place to grab something to eat because I am starving. I have not eaten all day except for a couple of protein bars and a couple of bags of nuts. So I am, even if it's just a Big Mac, I am ready for some food. So I'm going to get on the road, and maybe we'll do something when I get home, but it's going to be 5:30, 6 o'clock when I get home. So if I don't see you again tonight, I hope I'll see you again tomorrow, and we'll see what I get up to next.